Nia Jax makes a shock WWE return. Yeah, I know. Plus, Vince McMahon is making more Raw changes, and we have the update on an absent WWE Champion. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. Happy Merger Day, everybody! Woo! I hope you put out your merger stockings last night and you left your list for Father Merger. All I want is a small business. It's all taking place today, but that's not even the main story, Adam.
That's not what we're here to talk about. Nia Jax is back in WWE, making a shock return at the end of Raw. Goodness gracious me. She attacked Raquel Rodriguez, cost her the Women's World title match between herself and Rhea Ripley, then attacked Rhea Ripley too. And then, what did she hit? Flipping bonsai drop. Look at that. I love that.
Screaming, "I'm back, bitch." And then said another swear that was bleeped off of Raw. What a way to come back for Nia Jax. She was released from WWE, of course, back in November of 2021. She popped up in the Rumble.
She did. She had merch.
She did have some merchandise, which made us all go, oh, here we go. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful has more for us, saying, we'd heard she was heading back, and we are told she's been signed for over a month. The Endeavor WWE merger is happening this week, and we're told it's unrelated to her popping up on TV. Several within the company actually thought she would have returned before this. But she's returning now, it seems. And this is another one of those wrestlers that WWE have just got signed up and they just haven't brought on telly yet. We heard about the Authors of Pain and Paul Ellering last week. And I wonder, you can tell that the hiring freeze has ended.
Yes.
Because there's a few other people coming in behind the scenes and in front of camera. And Nia Jax is the latest one.
That's it. I think if you've got name value, if you're Authors of Pain, Carlito as well, who's sat in catering doing now. I'm curiously optimistic about this whole thing, Tom. I think people will expect me to sit here and go, oh, Nia Jax is back. She's rubbish. Yeah, she is, but wait.
But wait, there's more.
I think if booked correctly, Nia can be money. I think if you understand what she can and can't do in the ring, which isn't a great deal, and you just book her as a monster heel, I actually think that she has a place on the roster. Like the song says, she's not like most girls. She is unique. She can be an imposing monster heel effectively. I genuinely believe that. I love the fact that they've given her Yoko's old move as seemingly as her finisher. I think that's a really, really good shout. And this time around, I actually think she could be a bit of a success. Not that she achieved a lot, actually. That's unfair to say.
Yeah, she did. She's multiple-time champion in different divisions. My only concern
is that she's rubbish.
No. My concern is, obviously, Rhea Ripley, good morning, mother, is easily one of WWE's top stars right now, without doubt. A merch pusher, over like Rover, gets some of the biggest reactions. And she's now working with Nia Jax, who has a reputation of hurting people.
Mm-hmm.
We did a video 2 years ago.
I remember this one.
Is Nia Jax too dangerous for WWE? And I hope it's not me being an arsehole. It's just me being somewhat concerned with those two things. One of the most popular stars, historically quite dangerous wrestler.
Yep, and they put her right in there, targeting Rhea. That was the closing image. That is a concern, for sure.
I hope I'm wrong. I'd rather be happy than right, to quote Douglas Adams.
Yeah.
I'd rather be happy than right, but that is my concern.
No, that's completely understandable. It's mental, really, isn't it, that we've got to have that discussion. Like somebody's come back in. And I think you've just got to be really, really careful with what you do with her. But injuries can happen at any time.
Absolutely.
And it is worrying. What are your feelings on her coming back? Are you excited to see her on TV?
Again, I think if you want somebody that's really going to give Rhea Ripley, the character, a threat, an imposing threat, then I think Nia Jax is a great shout for that. I think you can tell a great story. I don't think you can tell a long story. The story certainly shouldn't end with Nia Jax beating Rhea Ripley. The story should certainly end with Rhea Ripley beating Nia Jax, and then somebody else getting the title. I think if Nia Jax was back for a good time, not a long time, or became sort of a special attraction type performer, I think there's certainly some mileage in that. I think if we see her every single week, I think that's, I don't know. I'd rather see her as like someone who comes in, becomes an imposing threat, somehow gets a comeuppance, and then rinse repeat. A la like a Big Show type character when he was in WWE near the end of his run.
I think you've absolutely nailed it. I mean, it's a weird one, really, isn't it? Because technically, although Rhea is so over, she is a heel. And we got heel versus heel here, seemingly. I don't think that was a babyface attack to close out Raw. Time will tell. I totally agree. Make her a special attraction. Would people care? I don't know.
Now, last night's Raw was a bit of an iconic one because it was the end of an era. It was the last WWE show with WWE presented as a separate, the WWS presented as a separate company, because the sale, as we said at the beginning, the merger to TKO Holdings is set to take place today. So therefore, last night's Raw was the last Raw with Vince having 100% autonomy over the direction of WWE. That changes when the merger comes through. Now, he wasn't set to be part of WWE Telly for a little while because he's on medical leave, but that's changed as well.
Yes, lots of changes. Change is the key word here. Vince came back, made all sorts of changes. To Monday Night Raw, finish on a high, eh?
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. I think this was about being seen as being there, seen as being present in the future of WWE. I think there's a reason that he returned backstage last night.
Without a doubt. Dave Meltzer, Wrestling Observer, saying Vince McMahon is back, and he did make multiple changes, as Adam said, to the show last night. Also, multiple changes made by Paul Levesque at the last minute too.
What's he like?
In terms of some of those changes, Fightful Select went over some of these, basically there was a lot of to and fro in between Raw and main event, which is also taped during Raw. We were set to see Viking Raiders versus Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander on Raw last night. That was bumped to main event, and in doing so, a match between Zoe Stark and Natalya was taken off main event. We did see Zoe Stark get involved in a segment later on Raw, but certainly not a match for main event. We're also meant to open with Cody Rhodes doing a promo, but we got a Jey Uso Kevin Owens showdown instead.
That's a good swap.
That is a good swap.
That is a good swap. I'm happy with that. I'm looking at these names here: Viking Raiders, Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander, like 4 unbelievable talents, resigned to main event, not doing a great deal on proper WWE TV at all. Viking Raiders especially. I remember when they got signed, War Machine, they were coming in. I thought these guys are going to revolutionize WWE's tag division. And it's been such an underwhelming poo show for them, hasn't it? Because they're so good. They're so unique. They're a proper unit. They're a proper team with, I thought, like a really, really strong gimmick and everything. And like, obviously, Shelton's great. Cedric's great as well. It's so disappointing. Anyway, changes. Will they continue moving forward? Almost definitely.
Almost definitely, because whilst the merger is set to take place today, Vince McMahon will very much oversee WWE, but with Ari Emanuel, Mark Shapiro, and Nick Khan involved in TV rights negotiations. But Vince will now have to answer to a board,
yes,
of which he does not have complete authority over Jackie Weaver. So therefore that is going to change quite a few. I think maybe not day-to-day things. I can't see like Mark Shapiro going, oh no, I definitely think Natalya should wrestle there, Vince McMahon. But I think in terms of the wider scope of the company, I think that Vince has lost that 100% control over it.
Yep.
I think it might be a good thing to have a few other thoughts in the mix there rather than just Vince's.
Don't expect to see instant changes, basically. I mean, when it was announced that WWE was being sold up anyway, people were like, oh, it's all going to change suddenly. It's not. And just because the merger is officially happening today doesn't mean that changes are going to be instant or anything like that. This is going to be still a very, very gradual thing. And again, I agree. I don't think that TV will change a great deal for months and months to come. And Vince will still head up that creative process. Like Triple H will still answer to Vince in that. Like Triple H does his stuff, but Vince, I think it's difficult to sort of change that power structure up. It's just always been that way, hasn't it? And yeah, we'll see. We will see.
One thing that won't be changing is the women's tag team titles anytime soon. We thought there might have been another snake bit title reign for Chelsea Green. Not the case though after last night's Raw, which is good.
No, she's back on the active roster. Piper Niven back on the active roster, getting into a brawl with Shayna Baszler after Shayna's match with Chelsea Green. Zoe Stark then ran out to make the save for Shayna afterwards. We just talked about that a minute ago. Of course, they formed an alliance last week.
Yeah, so we've now got a tag team in the women's tag team division.
Look at that.
Look at that.
We got there.
Two. Look at that. That's a division. That
Scrap the belts.
Great. Stop it. Great shout out to Zoe Stark with Shayna Baszler. What a great way to move Zoe Stark along.
Disagree.
Really?
Yeah, hard disagree because the Ronda match, Shayna going over Ronda, should have really catapulted Shayna into a big position in the singles division in WWE.
You think we should have got Shayna versus Rhea, maybe?
I think that's a tough one to book as well. Raquel.
Yeah?
I don't know. No, I don't know. I just think that should have been the start of it. I think they failed to capitalise on what should have been a really big win for Shayna. I'm not fussed about seeing Shayna and Zoe. It's just another thrown together tag team that will last 3 months. Let's not get too excited about it because it's not a proper team, is it? It won't go anywhere.
And it's just another day in paradise for the
Tell me I'm
world
wrong.
of wrestling. Hey,
Tell me I'm
if
wrong.
only somebody could call you and tell you that you're wrong.
Oh, yeah. It's back. I did a phone in last week on my Twitch stream. Twitch.tv/Cultaholic. Give it a follow now, right? Did a phone in. It went to pot. A few people were phoning up, making silly jokes at my expense. You do not do that, all right? We're doing it again today. I've got a new name for it. Have you seen The Right Stuff? You can't anymore, it's off air. The right stuff, it's the all right stuff. Yeah? We're doing that on Twitch tonight. There's another phone in if you want to get involved, be my guest, but be sensible, all right?
Be sensible.
I'm a serious guy.
Yeah, now Adam has said to me off camera, he said, look, this is really a good shot of me being a sensible sort of presenter, host type person.
Yeah.
So you only really want sensible calls about wrestling.
Not necessarily about wrestling, there'll be various, but I want insight, right? I want people with opinions. It doesn't matter what your opinion is, as long as it isn't, hey Adam, can I see your willy?
Yes, so no silliness tonight, please.
Right.
Thank you. Twitch.tv/Cultaholic from 6 p.m. British summertime. And for the latest wrestling news throughout the day, you can check out cultaholic.com. Stay sensible. Love you, bye.
I can't wait for people to take me seriously. See you at 6.